Here we're going to tie a blue and olive parachute. First thing I'm going to do is just get my thread started. Next we're going to tie in the tails, which are just some done Hackle fibers. I want these Hackle fibers to be about the length of the hook. We're going to tie those in right on top of the shank. Take our thread all the way back. There we go. And we're going to take our thread forward about a quarter of the way up. We are ready to tie in our parachute post. For that we're going to use some medium done turkey flat. Take a generous amount of about 20 or so fibers, maybe a few more depending on the size. We want these to be about the length of the hook. Tie those in right on top. Trim out the excess. Now we're going to lift up those turkey flats, build a wedge of thread right in front of them, so keep them propped up. Now I'm going to take my thread, I'm going to helicopter around those turkey flats. I'm going to creep up the post little by little. It's going to give my hackle something to wrap to. There we go. Now, once I've done that, I'm going to take my thread back to the tail again. This is where we're going to dub the body. Going to take some blue and olive dubbing, some superfine dubbing. I'm going to dub just enough dubbing so it coats the thread. Careful not to overdo it. I'm going to take that dubbing forward, taper it as I go up. Now we're going to take our hackle. I'm going to just roughly measure it out. I want it to be just about as long as the wing. So it's going to barely touch the back of the fly. I'm going to strip off some of those fibers, expose the stem here, gives me something to tie in with. I'm going to tie that in right in front of the post. I'm actually going to take that feather, lift it up. I'm actually going to wrap it to the post, creep up the post all the way to the top, come back down, and once I've done that, I'm going to finish off the head, the thorax region with our dubbing. So I'm actually going to start at the head, wrap back to the thorax. Then I'm going to take my fly, I'm going to invert it in my vise. Just like so. Now I'm going to take that feather, I'm going to wrap it, get my hackle pliers out here. I'm going to wrap it around the post. Oopsie. Very carefully. Creeping down the post from top to bottom. Creep all the way down until I get to the body. Once I get down there, I'm going to take my thread. I'm actually going to tie the fly off on the post. I'm going to take a couple of wraps. can let go with my Hackle pliers. I'm going to pull out some thread, carefully whip finish. Make sure it's on there tight. I can trim out my thread. I can trim out my hackle, the tip of the hackle, the extra. Any extra fibers that are still poking through. And that's all there is to the blue and olive parachute. Very easy fly to tie, very effective.